The governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has disclosed that the state government will set up a judicial panel of inquiry to investigate how the affairs of governance were conducted in the state before he assumed office. Fubara spoke while swearing in Mr. Dagogo Iboroma, a senior advocate of Nigeria, as the new Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of the state at Government House in Port Harcourt. The governor told Iboroma that he chose to bring him in as the Attorney General at this time, noting that the moment was critical in the governance of the state. He stressed that the state at the time has a lot of legal matters that needed to be tackled with bravery and courage, pleading that the new Attorney General should not fail the state. Mr. Henry, what is your take on this?
It's within his power, and he has said he will set up. We are waiting until when he does so, and then see who that may probably have a question to answer before the panel, and then what the allegations will be.
Now, there are a lot of speculations around this particular probe that is going to happen. Quite interesting. I can't wait to watch how it unfolds.
I can't wait
I can't wait to watch how it unfolds. Now, the concerns and the speculations are around the position of Governor Fubara while Wike was the governor of Rivers State. He was the accountant general. So if he is organized, if he has given directives for a probe, a panel to be set up to probe the administration of the FCT minister, Wike, while he was governor of Rivers State, isn't he indirectly probing himself as well?
You can probe yourself. We need to understand one thing. You can probe yourself. I cannot. Yes, this is the thing. These are the things that get wrong in this country because it doesn't happen. I can actually be a governor of a state, and when I finish, okay, let's say if I were a commissioner in a state and then I eventually become governor, I can say probe the administration that I serve, including my ministry. What's wrong in it? Meaning that I'm giving myself up to even call me up. If the panel that was set up to examine the previous administration that I served perhaps as commissioner for youths, and I'm now governor, and I say, examine what we did. And in that time, you're not indicting anyone, including my ministry as commissioner for youths, meaning that I am giving myself up to be assessed. What's wrong in it?
All right. Well, but Asim, yes. You know, the Governor Fubara, held a very sensitive position, a very, very sensitive position, while the FCT minister was the governor of Rivers State.
Yes.
He was signing the checks. Yes. He was responsible for a lot of finance. In fact, as far as we are concerned, he is the accountant, yes. And he is the one to give us the accounts of what is in our treasury and how our monies were spent.
Yes.
Now, I want your take on this probe that is about to happen, because I can't wait for it to start actually.
Quickly on this. A moth, the proverbial, moth that flies at night is like a fly, a butterfly, but a very smaller version. Whenever I see candle flickering, somewhere, it will fly there, quench that candle and kill itself. That is the kind of thing that is happening here now. The EFCC, for instance, if Wike were to be charged, or whoever, I'm sorry for using his name, if the past governor were to be charged to court, arrested and charged to court by Wike, the present governor will be a key witness, either for the prosecution or for the defense, because of his activities. That was the reason why they were looking for him. Before he became governor, he remembered that EFCC issued arrest warrant etc. on him at that time, because his predecessor had immunity covering him. You understand? Now, as the case may be now, what am I talking about? The government will be deeply involved. But you know why he's doing this now? Because he feels that he has immunity. But I know that your immunity covers you for a period of 4 years or 8 years maximum. After that time, if the EFC or any other body comes and begin to probe, they will still pick you up and pick who you feel, has, corruptly enriched himself in Rivers State here. Now, going back to the probe, I don't know if you asked me that particular question about the probe also. I don't know if you did that.
Go on.
Good. Going back to the probe, the governor or any governor at all, under our laws, especially Section 1 and 5, or the Tribunal of Inquiry laws of the various states, they have the right to institute, a pro panel or any panel, a judicial panel, let me use the word, to do anything as the case may be. But in this particular case, the Supreme Court came very vehemently on this, I think 2022, when they decided Amechi versus Rivers State matter. It concluded that it was an exercise in futility. That the governor can set up the probe panel, but that probe panel is not adjudicatory. That is just a fact-finding mission. They cannot convict the man, they can't send him to prison, they just want to intimidate witch hunt. It is as the case may be. That the Supreme Court went to even talk about what the white paper is. Under the Tribunal of Inquiry laws of Nigeria, if you bring a white paper to the governor, say this man ate money embezzled, the governor has the right to say, no, I'm not taking the report, or I will accept the report. But where he accepts that particular report, he cannot even act on it to convict or send that man that was found guilty to jail. He cannot do more than that. He will only use that as a fact-finding mission. And the Supreme Court went on to talk and say that, look, that when opposition governors, I mean, the way governors, become governors and become so powerful, the next they look is to go and look at their predecessors they have problems with and begin to find ways by way of calling judicial panel and etc. This panel will go nowhere. The people are jubilating that they want to probe the past administration. I have spoken and told them that it is of no moment. It is dead on arrival, as we normally say. Dead on arrival, DOA. So there's nothing that can be gotten from this. But finally, on this particular issue, I want to find out. Last year, a similar thing happened. Amechi was the subject matter. Today, the ex-governor is the subject matter now. In my own local parlance and parables, they say Cain, when husband beat the first wife, if they keep on saying, when I go use beat the second wife when they carry. It's a rigmarolling thing. It's going to go around. In 8 years, if you're able to do 8 years, you lose your immunity as case may be. But that does not mean that if the governor is found capable, maybe the panel is set up to now indict him also and say the governor or when he was Auditor General, he approved this. The police can even come and investigate him, even though he has the immunity. But they cannot prosecute him. They can investigate him based on the ratio decidendi of Femi Falana versus the AG Federation. It's a very simple matter. That they can even investigate your governor, but they might not prosecute him. So if he's found indicted while the panel is set up, if they really want to sit, they must indict one way or another. Somebody must be indicted alongside those they are going for. So I pray. It's a conundrum, like we normally use the word. But Rivers State, I'm praying for your state. I'm praying for this state to go above all these things and settle their matters.
All right. Henry, you have something to say?
On the basis of law, the Rivers State Commission of Inquiry law established or empowers the governor to constitute or establish a panel of inquiry. I only worry why some persons are beginning to imagine that a panel of inquiry is set up to be able to probably commit anyone to prison or commit anyone to any criminal punishment. No. It's appropriately just a forum or a platform for asking questions, finding out facts. And those facts may be important to government in different ways, either to give a different direction to government or to probably repair something that has gone bad. But each time a commission of inquiry is planned to be set up, people begin to make some noise and then worry or fear of culpability and criminal punishment, or no, it might not be so. So if a governor has said, we'll set up a panel of inquiry to examine how the previous administration has run for 8 years, it could be for different purposes. And like I said here, it's even a positive one to the effect that even those who were in that administration say, look, let's examine what we did in the previous 8 years. It's commendable. For those of us who are in Rivers State, we want to actually even know. And again, these are questions we've been asking. Most times, those of us who require accountability and answerability by public officers, including the present government, I mean a governor who was in that government, we have asked all of this. And in a responsible democratic society, we should even have this periodic to say, look, from time to time, give your account of stewardship to the people. You're not working for yourself. So if this didn't happen 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, an administration goes and then probably get a second term and 8 years and then you just walk away. You didn't have a time to even give a report, an account of your stewardship to the people. and then somebody comes in and say, look, let's have a situation where we'll have an independent commission of inquiry to inquire into how this administration was run. I don't think there's anything we'll waste much of our time in, even analyzing.
But if I ask you a clear question,
yes.
Now, the concerns, again, or speculations are around the time.
I don't dwell on speculations, but let's hear it.
Around the timing, you know, with the ongoing crisis, the back and forth between Governor Fubara and the FCT minister, you know, isn't it going to look at like a witch hunt now?
I don't think so. See, this is the first time I'm actually having an outing with you.
Yes.
It can work for many. For me, and I have my discretion to my approach to our public analysis. I don't dwell on speculations or these kind of questions. Because apparently, what's witch hunting who? What is witch hunt? I've just said here that I don't know. There is no time wrong. What is crisis? Is there even crisis? I don't even want to go there. Is there even crisis? There is no crisis.
There is no crisis.
There is no crisis.
In Rivers State.
There is no crisis. If I were the governor and if I was to tell you what to do, and it's failure of people acting up in this country that is killing us. If somebody is misbehaving, you deal with him. Because you think that somebody is sacred. Otherwise, is there any person in our constitution that will struggle with the performance of the... Hold on.
Of assembly in peace right now?
I don't know. It's their business. I am not one of those. They are not in crisis in any way. They are not. You know why? When people fail to stand upright, to say, look, you, take for instance, the issue about the... I worry, even when I come to the media, and somebody says the crisis between the governor and the minister of the FCT. What crisis?
But you're also
saying, are they in the same office?
You're also saying the legislative arm of the state has no crisis.
There's no crisis.
There's no crisis.
What's the crisis really? What's the crisis? When some people have vacated their seats and the law said they should leave, then you ask me to come and say anything.
The police has taken over.
The police is preventing. It's preventing.
Preventing what?
But in any case...
What are they preventing if there is no crisis?
My journalist.
No, Harry. What is the police preventing?
Okay, can you tell me what the crisis is? What's the crisis? I'm a dispute resolution expert. Can I bring in my knowledge in there? I'm a dispute. If you must dispute, yes, if you must settle any dispute, I'm a professional mediator. Do you know what you find out in 3 things? Who are the parties? What are the issues? What are their interests?
Yes, so we can see.
So you want to identify these things. Let's try to see the silly thing.
The issue, Rivers State affairs.
So is that what are the issues and what are the interests between the governor of Rivers State and the minister of the Federal Capital Territory?
There are crises. What
is the issue between Rivers State governor and the legislature? Which legislature? Rivers House of Assembly does not have any problem.
The governor come out to say, I derecognize. The legislature has been paying salary.
Can you dismantled and demolished?
I'm not comfortable with this discussion.
He went to the quarters of legislators to go and demolish the place and say there's no crisis.
Did the governor issue any instruments that they are going to demolish the
quarters?
He said you follow people who that say things on the street.
A governor that said Jungle don't
I don't take this. I can't be called to come and analyze an issue on people since they are discussing on the street in the market.
Jungle don't mature.
That was going to demolish the quarters. So which one is
Jungle don't mature? Is that the kind of design? I'm setting up a probe now to probe the past administration. And you are saying there's no crisis.
He didn't say so. He didn't say so. You are in the media. Play that. Tell your people to play the soundbite.
The governor never said, I gave them a floating and that's why
so you get good.
He never said that.
When I say something, you're careful. He didn't say, I derecognize the Rivers House of Assembly or the legislature. He didn't say so. That was what the spokesperson of the APC said. He said certain individuals. That's a difference between the Rivers House of Assembly and Martin Amegule. Martin Amegule is not the Rivers House of Assembly.
Jungle don't mature. Is it a language used by civil legislators?
The governor didn't say, I don't recognize the Rivers House of Assembly.
Gentlemen, at this point, this is where we I
don't have any problem with this.
This is where we come to an episode.
It's our state, I will build it.
Gentlemen, this is where we come to the end of this episode.
No problem.
Thank you so much,
God bless you.
Asima Dams, for coming.
Yes, thanks for always having me. I'm bringing my best friend too.
He's
been my very good friend.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
All the time.
You can always follow us and stay connected on all our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network.